Hey guys, welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video with Blazing Corp. Today, I've got a little bit of a conundrum. Who to book up to 60 next? I've got 6 candidates: Caden, Ludric, that's his name, yeah, Ludric, Armiger, Tormund the Cold, Roon Keeper Dastark, and Seer. So, main thing for me, and this is how I kind of go about trying to want to see who to book up next. And this is a big question everyone asks is, who should I book? Who should I invest my time in? Who should I invest my resources in? And what I always say is hey, who is going to be the most beneficial in every single part of Raid? So all the content there. So dungeons, there, you get your Doom Tower, your arena, clan boss, possibly there if you're, mid-tier level like myself, possibly in completing your campaign missions. They're getting 3 stars on everything, right? So we go through each, and you just look at everything. So what's going to work? So for Caden, the main reason I would book him would be for this A3. Here, his A1, not great. Provoke debuff, could be nice there in the Doom Tower. Obviously he scales based on defense, so really easy to kind of kit him out with artifacts. And then he's got this decreased attack. Luckily for me, I have Madame Saris. I also have a champion who's similar to him there in Iron Brago, who has that decreased attack, 100% chance. Their AoE, which is nice, there as well. And I believe his AoE is a 3-turn there, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the one reason I am going to get around to booking this guy to 60 is because he revives 2 random allies with 50% HP and places a 60% increased debuff. Increased defense buff on them for 1 turn. Obviously you can book that down to a 4-turn cooldown. Now, I'm not really, with the current champions that I have, dying in the dungeons. I am dying quite a bit in Doom Tower because that's end game stuff there, and I could definitely see this particular ability coming in really nice here. There, I should say. So that's one thing and one reason I would kind of book him out. So let's give him 1 check mark out of 3 on that end, because I wouldn't really need him too much for dungeon content currently. Now Ludric, really good kit. 40% chance booked up to 60% of placing 50% decreased attack buff for 2 turns. He's based on HP, so really easy to artifact to kit him. There, removes all debuffs from 1 ally, then places 50% ally protection buff on that ally for 2 turns. You can book that down to a 3-turn cooldown. Really nice also. Now this is where he really becomes interesting. Shield buff, all allies for 2 turns equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. So if you get him up to 60, 70,000, maybe even 80,000, there you could get a massive shield on people. If you can get him up to 100,000, that's a 20,000 shield there, which is insane. And that will be on all the time because you can book this down to a 2-turn cooldown. So he's really exciting for kind of all content there, because his shield will quickly refresh, especially as you move through waves, and he'll constantly be applying it to your group. So the sustain is really, really good. The only thing with this is I already have a champion who does this in Miscreant Monster. You may have, Valerie. You may have Metal Shaper in your group. Now he's a better version of Metal Shaper because he's going to have the ally protection buff on 1 ally and be doing debuffs, removing those, which is really nice. Obviously, decrease attack, never a bad thing. So his kit overall is really nice on that end. So definitely take a look if you are having problems in the Doom Tower there for Scarab, King, or just even in sustain. So health and or dying quite a bit in any of the dungeons. There, he will be really good for those sections. I can see him being good in Spider, like really good in Spider there, especially if paired with like a stun champion who's stunning all the ads. He puts on massive shields, and you can build people who are a little bit more glass cannon to take care of the Spider really quickly. Obviously, Armiger, one of the best. Enemy max HP, so it's 5% based on, heavily on defense. So 5% of the enemy max HP every 2 turns he can just rip off. There, obviously, enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. So he's really, really good when he kills someone with this skill in the Ice Golem. There, he's going to be good pretty much anywhere that he can use this enemy max HP skill. And as you get enemy at max HP is always going to scale there as you have more ads that have higher HP. So he's only going to get better and hit harder as he gets into deeper and deeper content. So he could definitely be good everywhere. Only real problem with him is he's not easy to kit. He's got really low base defense, even at 60. And then you have to focus on your accuracy, crit rate, and crit damage, plus defense and speed. So that's a lot of different things to be focusing on for one particular character. So that knocks him down on the rung of who I want to book first. Tormund, he's basically an arena champion. I'm using him in my faction wars right now as my lead because he has increased allied defense in all battles by 33%, so really good sustain on that end. Now, between the last two on the list here, Seer and Roon Keeper Dastard, I already kind of have 2 champions that operate like Seer does. Obviously, she's got a crazy enemy max HP skill. It's the best in the game. Removes all buffs from allies and enemies, then attacks all enemies. Damage increases according to the number of removed buffs. Has a 50% chance of placing a sleep debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. That chance of placing a sleep debuff increases by 5% for each buff removed. Inflicts less damage to bosses. So I've got 1 Royal Guard, obviously the Armiger, and I got a Sato there. So I don't know if she's going to be top of mind for me to book here and get into gear and get into content and get her to 60, especially with all the resources I would have to put into her. But she definitely is going to be on my short list of people to get to 60 and to fully max out there. It's just I have people who do her job right now and they're not really failing at it just yet. So I think I can put her probably 2nd or 3rd on the tier. I think she'll be 2nd, but I believe Roon Keeper is going to take the cake. So main thing for Roon Keeper, and that's exciting me, like really exciting me, 45% chance when booked of placing a 60%, placing a leech debuff. So leech debuff, if you don't know, is essentially when you hit whoever has a leech debuff, you're going to get a portion, I believe it's 18%, I believe that can be booked up to 23% if you have the mastery there, of sucking off, leeching essentially health back into your health bar. So that's going to be really good if you're running him with a lot of attack-based champions who have lower defense there. So a lot of your enemy max HP guys there. So I can see him being good in all dungeon content. Anywhere that's going to have like Doom Tower. I don't know so much about Arena. He might be there. Might have to test that out. But definitely Clan Boss. Doom Tower and specific dungeons for sure, especially since he's void. He's not going to be negative affinity anywhere, so you can run him in every single piece of content. Now, not only does he have the leech on his A1 no less, but he places a 50% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns, and the strong version, so 50%, then fills the turn meters of all allies by 25%. You can book that down to a 3-turn cooldown, which is insane. And then Purity Sigil, when ascended, removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals all allies by 25% of this champion's max HP, places a 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns on allies that have a debuff removed. You can book that down to a 4-turn cooldown, which is insane. He's going to be great against a lot of content in the Doom Tower and a lot of content there that's even come before clan boss and or dungeons. Then he has his ally attack 25%, which is insane for an epic there. So, and he's defense based, so really easy to kit this guy even with low level gear. Not everything at 6. You can get some 5 pieces in here he's not even fully stacked up. And he's already got pretty good base stats. So 24,000. We've got 1900 defense, 172, and his boots aren't even done yet. So that's going to be about 180 there. His critical rate, we can get that up to 100, get his crit rate up, crit damage up. And then his accuracy is nice right now at 206. I definitely want to be getting the leech debuff there whenever I can, as much as I can. So I think that's all for this video right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy to 6 stars here, fully ascend him, and we'll probably be back. Probably going to take me a little while to do that, but we'll probably be back and do another video on this guy, maybe a champion, mid-tier level champion spotlight here on him as we run some content with him and see how he does. So do check back into the channel there in the future for more update, I guess, on Roon Keeper Dasturk. And I hope you found this video informative on how I go about just kind of my thought process on who to book next, on who to invest my resources in. I hope that this has been informative, and if it has, leave a like and subscribe there, and hopefully there, let me know in the comments like who you're booking next, or if you have some questions, feel free, throw the question in, and hopefully I can help you choose. You have a fantastic day out there, stay safe and well.